We're planning to reach FIRE in 2024. How we're going to do that? Part of that is in dividend income. So today we're going to give you our dividend income update for October of 2021. Stick around and we'll let you know where we are and how much we made in October of 2021.
Well, we are in beautiful Mexico. We are celebrating a special day. Yeah. Thanks to COVID, we are 1 year after celebrating our wedding. So family and friends, they were here celebrating with us. We are actually creating another video. We are gonna share with you the cost of our wedding, right?
Is a destination wedding really cheaper than having it at home?
Yeah. Stick around and you can see. Topic today is dividends. We are going to share with you today the dividends that we have received from the month of October in 2021. And if you're new to this channel, every single month we go over the dividend stocks that we have received throughout the year. Since the beginning of 2021, when we created this YouTube channel, you can see it. However, if you go back to our website, you're gonna see all the dividends that we have received since our journey to financial independence started. If you're new to this channel, my name is Jean.
I'm Christine.
We are a Canadian couple living in Toronto, and our goal is to retire early ASAP.
2024.
Yeah. On today's video, we will share with you the dividends that we have received from October 2021, which does include Canadian stocks, US and global exposure. Stick around until the end of this video because one of the positions that we have, which is a global ETF, is not performing as we are expecting. We don't know what to do, but we'd love to hear your comments about that. So if you can stick around, that will be great.
Yeah. So we're going to get right back into our dividend income for October of 21. Like we mentioned in a previous video, not a lot has actually changed with our dividends for these particular positions because we're concentrating on building up Power Corp. So as we concentrate on building up our final position, I believe, hopefully within our Smith Maneuver account, we haven't been adding a lot to any of these other positions that we currently hold. That being said, the first one that we're going to talk about today, we received dividends from VIU, which is a global market ETF. We received in October $129.04. We currently own 809 shares. And so year to date, we've received $336.83.
Second position that we have is Algonquin, which is part of the utility sector here in Canada. For Algonquin, we received $217.33. As of today, we own just over 1,000 shares, and year to date, $808.15.
Next one is Bell Canada. BCE.TO is the ticker. It's a telecom here in Canada. We received $302.75. That's again unchanged. We're currently owning 346 shares, and year to date from Bell Canada, we have received $1,196.30.
Bell Canada is doing really well, so we are happy with this position, right? Another one that we received, it's actually a REIT, which is RioCan. So RioCan is a REIT in Canada. We received $23.20. As of today, we own 290 shares. And year to date, $208.92.
Next one, again, is another telecom here in Canada. It's Tellus, so the ticker T.TO. We received $316.20 from Tellus in October. We currently own 1,000 shares, and year to date, we have received $1,139.66.
Yeah. Last but not least, which is our last position from the Canadian allocation, which is XEI. XEI is an ETF, and we received $3.37. As of today, we own 42 shares and received year to date $11.15. When you might ask, why is it so low?
Well, actually, this has actually gone up. We actually put more money into XEI. In our previous video, we talked about some of the accounts that we hold. I had an old RRSP that I hadn't really been contributing to recently. One of the shares that I held in that particular RRSP was Aurora Cannabis, and as many of you may or may not know, Aurora Cannabis has not been doing well. So we just decided we're going to cut our losses. We took the cash that was remaining from that particular investment and just put it into XEI. So right now, within one of our RSPs, it's solely XEI. It's not a lot of money, but it has increased that little bit of a dividend for us on a monthly basis.
Lessons learned to us always have a stop loss. Right?
That was before we really started knowing what we were doing. That purchase was made, but
we lost quite a lot, so we can't. Since it was inside our RSP, we cannot even claim the loss.
No.
So that's really important that you stick to your plan. And I should not say a mistake. Lessons learned.
Yeah.
We on for all the stocks that we have, there's always gonna be a stop loss.
Yeah. So the very last one that we received dividends or distributions from in the month of October was QQQ. So QQQ is an American ETF that tracks the NASDAQ. And we received from QQQ $62.09. We currently own 150 shares or units of QQQ. And year to date, we have received $132.16. So if we add all of those up, our monthly total for October of 2021 comes out, and this is probably our lowest one so far in 2021. So in the month of October, we received $1,053.98 in dividend income.
Now let's talk about the breakdown and how we are actually dividing our money and our investments. There are three buckets. The first one is the Canadian allocation, the US allocation, and global allocation. For Canada, year to date, we received $10,917.86, which represents around 79% of all the money that we have received in 2021.
Yeah. The U.S. has brought in about $2,367.24, representing about 17.33% of the income we've received.
Yeah. Last but not least is the global allocation, where we invest our money outside Canada and, of course, U.S. We received $376.95, which does represent 2.76%.
So if we add all of that up, we're sitting right around $13,662 in dividend income for the year of 2021 to date. And as we've talked about before, our original goal was to start receiving or to receive $40,000 a year in dividend income. So if we look at this $13,000, we're right about 34% of our way to that $40,000 target.
Yeah. And if you think about it, we are going to retire in 2024. Are we going to be able to go up to $40,000? Hell no.
Well, you never know.
We never know.
If we win the lottery, we could put all of that into dividend-paying stocks, and
but
we'd
we
be there in no time.
But we don't play the lottery. We don't play the lottery. The $10, $15, it goes to our investment. So no lottery, unless you win the lottery and you can share, your
winnings with us.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We are also not expecting that.
No. So like Jean mentioned at the beginning, we wanted to kind of go over one of our positions with you guys and just kind of get your take on it as well. It's VIU.TO. It's the international ETF that we are currently holding in one of our margin accounts. Year to date, we have a significant amount of our money tied up in this particular ETF, but when you look at its performance, we've only seen about a 1.6% gain on that investment over the course of the year. Now, when you compare that to some of our other ETF investments that are up 10, 15%, we're starting to wonder whether this particular ETF is a good investment for us. Yeah. Even the distributions, if you look at what we had received, and I know it's all tied to the market, we know that, but if you look at what we received the previous quarter, we're actually down $40, and we've added more units to this particular ETF. So I guess our question to you guys is, what do you think we should do? Do you think we should keep this international ETF as global exposure? Do you think we should invest it into an ETF that is ex-Canada and including the US? I don't know. We already have an ETF that includes the US market, so we're unsure whether we should add more, but I guess this is our predicament at the moment.
Yes, we are debating. Part of our asset allocation, as you can see on our screen, is 50% of our asset allocation is on Canadian stocks. 30% is US allocation and 20% of global, which VIU is part of. As you can see, we are only around 2%, but going up 18% more, we don't know if
it's possible.
It's possible, and even it's worth it, right?
Yeah. Like we said, we're planning 2024 as our fire date. We don't have long. If we had 20 years to stick around in VIU, then maybe we would.
Yeah.
But right now, we need to grow our money as fast as possible so that we have that available in 2024. So do we change out from VIU to something else? Do we stick it out? Yeah. We're kind of debating that, and we'd love your input.
Yeah. What asset allocation do you have? Do you have any exposure to the global market outside Canada and of course the US? So let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, and I guess we kind of directly compare, well, we shouldn't say directly compare that, but we look at things like ITOT or QQQ that we also hold. These are US market ETFs, but they are up significantly over the past year, like 14%, 16%, and we're actually seeing quite a significant capital appreciation on our money. So I guess our concern is that the money that we have invested into this international ETF is not working as hard as it could be, and we're not going to receive the benefit we could if we put that money elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we're going to put the graph up on the screen now just to kind of take a look and see where we are overall compared to last year.
And as Christine mentioned before, our focus on the Canadian exposure is more related to growing Power Corp. So Power Corp is a new company that we put on our Smith Maneuver portfolio. If you have not heard of the Smith Maneuver before, there is a playlist and I'm going to link up there where you can see what the Smith Maneuver is. So we are basically building up Power Corp based on the swing trades that we do it and also the extra money that we receive from dividends. Up to date, we are 85% of our goal, which is great. So by the end of this year, we will definitely top up Power Corp and they are going to be on the same amount, on the same distribution with the other stocks. If we do compare year over year, you can see on your screen that in October 2020, we received $717.84. Now let's compare with October 21, which is $1,053.98. So it's basically 68% increase if you compare year over year.
Which isn't bad, really. I mean, we said that this is our lowest month for the year of 2021, but when you look at where we were last year this time, it's still a really good increase, and we're still, I think, on track to start earning some really good dividends. We've switched our strategy. We've gotten out of a lot of our dividend-paying stocks from within our RSPs, which has really kind of not set us back because we're actually sort of ahead even of where we were last year at the same time. And I think it's only going to start gaining momentum from here now that we've sort of laid out our baseline as to what we want to do with our investments. So what do you guys think? Is that a good strategy? Do you think it's good to have the growth within your RRSPs and your dividend paying stocks outside where you have a little more access to them? Let us know in the comments down below. And also we're always on the lookout for another good investment. So any tips would be appreciated.
Perfect. We hope that you are well. We hope that you are safe. As we said before, we are in beautiful Mexico. It's raining actually today. Apologies for the background, but you can see the birds chirping at the end, which is beautiful. The sun, it's starting to come up, which is also great. So thanks for your time. Thanks for the opportunity of letting us know, be part of your journey as well. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you on our next video. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Dove into the water. Where is he?
I don't know.
He's over here. Look at him. See the ripples?
No. That's good. Oh. All right. You already recorded?
Yeah.
So let's go.
Oh.
Now let's talk about the breakdown. As you know, part of our asset allocation is divided in 3 different buckets. One is the Canadian. Now let's talk about the
The grape down?
Yeah, the breakdown.
So like Xian mentioned at the beginning of the video, we wanted to kind of go over something that we've been noticing with one of our investments. So VIU.TO is an international ETF that holds all of the, it's a Vanguard, what's it?
It's a
It's the international market, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sweaty.
I know.
It's steamy here. Okay.